It is actually pretty warm. I was asked whether I would want to wear the gown. I'm super happy, but it is warm. I can I can echo what you said. Um, Anyways, Dean Veloso, Dean Stabile, Associate Dean Januskis, Mrs. Jensen, distinguished faculty and staff, proud families and friends, and above all, dear class of July 2025. It's a real honor to be back here. Before saying anything else, a big congratulations to all of you, class of 2025J. You survived one of the most intense experiences in business education. You made it. "2025 seems to be an INSEAD year for me. In April, my co-founder Steve and I were lucky enough to receive the INSEAD Global Entrepreneurship Award in Amsterdam. So next year you got it, it's in Oslo, but this year was in Amsterdam. 10 days ago, I was back here in Fontainebleau for my 15th class reunion, and we're actually partying in another tent just behind these walls. And here I'm again. So 15 years ago, I sat where you're sitting. I was excited, maybe a little nervous, and definitely sleep deprived. I remember thinking, can 1 year really make that much of a difference? And yet, it does. When my classmates and I gathered, again, 10 days ago for our anniversary, we realized just how lasting the INSEAD experience is. It's intense, it's fast, it does feel indeed like drinking from a fire hose while juggling group projects, trips around Singapore, Europe, existential career questions, and job interviews, choosing what to do in P3, what campus, etc. And let's be honest, quite a few very good parties. And yet, the whole year split around the various campuses works so well. Because what makes INSEAD so unique isn't just the academics, it's the people, it's the diversity, as has been said before. Not just of cultures, but of perspectives. It's arguing about strategy with a Brazilian aircraft engineer, an Indian trader, a British lawyer, and somehow ending the conversation with new ideas out of your box thinking and better understanding of others' points of view. INSEAD calls itself the business school for the world, and it's not just a tagline. That diversity is a superpower. It helps you listen, lead, and build across borders, not just business plans. For me, INSEAD wasn't about adding another line to my CV. I joined just after HEC and a few years at McKinsey, but I really wanted to have a break, to reset, to reflect, and find new energy. And INSEAD delivered. It gave me confidence, it gave me clarity, and, as I'd discover later, it gave me a co-founder, investors, and lifelong friends. After graduating, I didn't want to go back to consulting, but I know quite a few will, and I won't judge you for it. It's okay. And I started working for startups. It took me 2 years of refining ideas before I took the leap. In 2013, I teamed up with Steve and Avi, whom I knew from high school, and also happened to be an insider as well. He was 11D 1 year after me. And we launched our first venture, Smoke.io, a smart, connected e-cigarette to help people quit smoking. For the record, I have never been smoking in my life. So yes, a very healthy choice of product. It taught us a lot. We built the company, we sold it, and then we reinvested what we earned into our next, much bigger ambition, Qonto. The idea came from a frustration we had ourselves as entrepreneurs. Business banking was painful, slow, and outdated. So we created the banking platform we wished we had had. We launched Qonto in 2017. Today, we serve over 600,000 SMEs and freelancers in 8 European markets with an amazing team of 1,600 Qontoers. But what makes me the proudest isn't the numbers. It's that we're solving real problems for real businesses. And none of that would have happened without Smoke.io, or without INSEAD, or without the people we bet on, and who bet on us, Now, if you remember anything from this speech, because I assume you will get a few drinks to celebrate this day, I hope it's the next part. Here's what I wish someone had told me on my own graduation day. I actually thought of these 3 elements, another 3 elements recipe, when I woke up 10 days ago in my Fontainebleau hotel room, just a couple of 100 meters from here, a couple of hours after our reunion ball. I think of it as a toolkit to build your company, your career, your legacy. I will talk a lot about entrepreneurship, as more than 70% insiders will be entrepreneurs in one shape or form, but this also applies to other careers. Number 1, start before you feel ready. I recently heard Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, speak at the Élysée Palace when I was invited to a tech dinner by President Macron. Jensen Huang said something that stuck with me. Europeans have to take much, much more risks. Go beta, don't try to make it perfect. That advice applies to product design and startup, yes, but also to life. When Steve and I launched Qonto, people thought we were crazy. A startup in banking, in Europe, heavily regulated, fiercely competitive. And yes, our first fundraising round, 1.6 million euro, was incredibly hard. Much harder, actually, than our last one, which was 300 times larger. But we started anyway. We didn't have all the answers. We had conviction, not certainty. That's all you need to begin. Momentum beats perfection. Hesitation is not a sign to stop. It's a sign to start. And sometimes I regret not jumping earlier and having hesitated a bit too long after INSEAD. And INSEAD connections can also be very helpful. I remember sharing a cab in Singapore back in 2010 with my classmate, Tavet Henricus. He casually pitched me a half-baked idea for a startup. That startup became Wise, now worth over 12 billion euro, and transformed the money transfer industry. And years later, Tavet became one of Qonto's investors. INSEAD isn't just an alumni network. It's a global ecosystem of talent, ambition, and opportunity. That's the INSEAD magic. So now number 2, build with values. At Qonto, we always believed in building a European company, not just by strategy, but by conviction. The name Qonto comes from Esperanto, the universal language, where Qonto, with a K, means account. No borders, no flag, just shared purpose. The spirit of openness is also why we've built a team of 80 nationalities, just a bit more than in your class, and 44% women. Diversity isn't just a buzzword, it's a competitive advantage. It gives us better ideas, faster solutions, and deeper empathy. And in today's world, one unfortunately filled with rising uncertainty, conflict, and polarization, it's even more important than ever to lead with the values you believe in. Not just because it's the right thing to do, but because it makes you, your company, and your impact stronger. And now number 3, last but not least, don't forget yourself or your people. Let me be honest, building a company is tough. Days and nights are long. The to-do list never ends. There's always one more investor to email or one more fire to put out. And this is still true today. But here's something I've learned the hard way, also going through different personal challenges. You can't pour from an empty cup. Your most important assets, your health, your loved ones, your team, your mental clarity. I have 3 kids and a wonderful wife who works as hard as I do. And for the record, who still hasn't forgiven INSEAD for separating us for a year. It is not easy to be an entrepreneur and a good father, husband, son, brother, and friend. It requires a lot of energy. But this is also what INSEAD is about. probably as much as diversity. Relentless energy to make the most of this fabulous year, and the strength and appetite for doing and learning new things and meeting new people. And you should cultivate that, because it is so precious. In my initial draft, I was suggesting to take care of yourself and your well-being. But my wife told me to trash this part, because clearly I am not eating kale or having cold showers at 5 a.m. I still love good food and good wine. I'm a Frenchman, especially when shared with friends, and also definitely enjoy partying. You've probably guessed that by now. I try to run twice a week, as it helps release stress and sleep better. But no wellness sermon here, just this: make time for the people who ground you. Schedule it if you have to, because being a good entrepreneur and a good parent or partner or friend requires energy, creativity, and real presence. So yes, finding balance is hard, but it's also what makes the journey worth it. To wrap up my tips in a tweet, let's say. So again, your business, start before you're ready, go beta. Your values, let them guide your ambition. And yourself, take care of what and who matters. You're not leaving INSEAD today. INSEAD is coming with you in your friendships, your companies, your decisions, your courage. The energy, the diversity, the curiosity, they're now part of your DNA. So take the leap, go build something that matters, and bring others with you. Congratulations again, class of July 2025. The world needs what you're about to do. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you.